Hello and welcome to Hit the Bricks.
Everything that's interesting about Guthrie, Oklahoma.
We're back.
I've missed you, Chris Evans.
Man, this has been too long. This is good to hear your voice and hear the ring, all that good stuff.
It's good to hear my own voice. Hey, it's almost 89er time.
Boy, we came back at the right time. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Before we started recording this afternoon, we were looking through all the different events for 89ers, which is next week. Next week, right?
Yeah, April 13th through the 17th.
The list of stuff this year is pretty extravagant. When do you remember your first 89ers? You grew up
Yeah,
here, so.
I grew up here. I've been going to them for as long as I can. I've been to some that I probably don't even remember.
Yeah, you were probably like a stroller kid.
Exactly, a stroller kid, absolutely. But I'm just glad we have a celebration this year. It all got, I don't want to insert a bad word here, but it all got taken away from us last year to COVID.
Stolen from us. Yeah, so I think, as far as I can tell, this is kind of like the first big event in Oklahoma, I think.
I would think so. Of course, that makes sense because this is the state's largest parade.
Right. What's that? It's the state's largest and oldest.
Oldest.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
If you're just listening, I'm trying to find the slogan on the brochure. I'm pretty sure
it is a very nice brochure, by the way, too. But
oldest and longest parade in Oklahoma.
Yeah, so we didn't have it last year, which I think it was the second time in the history of the parade, of the celebration, that it never happened. And, of course, and there was a lot of people who missed out on that because this celebration brings in family members from not only across the state but throughout the United States. I know my brother usually comes back from Ohio to celebrate. We have a big family get together during this time of year, so this is a great time not only to celebrate the history, to celebrate Guthrie, but families come together and celebrate as well.
Oh yeah. So the other time that the parade didn't happen, do you remember what was that just rained out or something, or was it something?
No, I think it was a little bit some controversial issues back in the, I can't remember if it was the 60s or 70s.
So I shouldn't bring it up.
Yeah, okay. No, you should bring it up. We probably don't need to go into detail about it. I can't remember exactly the details, but it was controversial.
That can be for our Guthrie Unsolved Mysteries podcast.
Correct, absolutely.
So next week starts Tuesday evening. Instead of the usual annual chuck wagon feed, that is kind of like a tradition. They're not going to do that.
Went away this year.
Yeah, but they are doing some live music on Tuesday evening. 89er nights. They're going to kick the 89ers celebration off with some live music downtown at First and Harrison, the parking lot down there.
Yeah, I think, with the success of the Red Brick Nights, I think this is a great job by the 89er committee to bring in some music, some outdoor events. We're still in the COVID area. COVID hasn't completely gone away.
Sure.
But another outdoor event that people can come together and celebrate. I think that's a great addition. Of course, you said 2 nights. We'll get to the other night here in a little bit, but
Tuesday night, they've got Jokers to the Right. So a lot of us have heard Jokers to the Right, some classic rock kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Really, really fantastic band. They also have the McTaggart. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
You got a capital M and a capital T. So I think that's right.
Yeah, the Irish McTaggart Irish Dancers of Oklahoma. So that sounds sounds festive.
Yeah. The Irish music always brings out some fun times, but food trucks will be there. So that's a good incline. And real quick, we mentioned the chuck wagon gone away. I do think they're working on a silent auction. Is that correct?
Yes. They are having a silent auction. I think it's online.
Correct.
You can bid on it. Is it on the Chamber's website?
I think that's right.
I didn't prepare for that part of this podcast.
Yeah, but I was wanting to make sure because the auction's always one of the, besides the great food they have there, but the auction was a big part of that deal. And so they still will have the auction this year. Yes.
So that's Tuesday night, 6 o'clock there at the big parking lot there at First and Harrison. Wednesday, April 14th, there's always it's the biggest chamber coffee of the year.
By far. If
you don't know what chamber coffee is, every week, just about every week in Guthrie, Wednesdays at 9:30, there's a kind of like a businesses and networking kind of get together at a different business where folks kind of talk about what's new in town, events and calendar stuff. But this is the big one.
Yeah, and Bank First hosts this every single year. Normally indoors, but this year they're going to move the Chamber of Coffee to the outdoors on that Wednesday. And again, I think I heard through the grapevine they're hoping to have a food vendor or two out there as well. So you can get all the latest scoop information on the week of all the activities that we're talking about today, as well as some food.
Oh, yeah. So it'll be right there at First and Oklahoma, just next to the Bank First building.
And Laverne usually hands out money.
Oh, man.
To those people who show up. So hopefully that tradition continues, although I never win. But I do get a couple of nice swag gifts by Bank First. So just show up for the possibility of winning a gift.
Yeah, that Chamber of Coffee is definitely one of the coffees you don't want to miss each year. Also, Wednesday is the carnival first
Hello.
day. Yeah.
You can't have a celebration without the carnival, I've learned through social media.
Correct.
No carnival, just fold up and
Stay
go away.
home.
Yep.
Yeah, but the carnival now over the years it's kind of changed locations a few different times, but it's been sticking there at the same spot for a few years now. So kind of like 2nd Street down towards the bowling alley, down in that area.
Right. The it's a great location. I like that location. The only bad thing about the location is the train and all those stroller kids, as you mentioned earlier. Stroller kids don't like the train because the whistle seems to go on and on and on and on. But other than the train, it's a great location.
Yep, and it always happens when you're trying to have like an important conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
You're like, or you're telling a joke, and here comes the punchline, and the train's like, wah, and you kind of stand there for 5 minutes. And the moment's gone. Yeah,
it is loud, to be honest with you. Not only stroller kids, but big kids as well.
Correct. So carnival on Wednesday, the carnival starts at 4:30 p.m. So if your kids ask to get out of school early on Wednesday to go to the carnival, your kids are liars.
It's not going to work.
Don't believe your kids on Wednesday.
Take that one off.
Yep.
The excuse list.
Yeah, Wednesday 4:30 to 10. You can throw some money at your kids, give them a wristband. That made it sound like I was encouraging you to just leave your kids.
Drop them off. Yeah, that's exactly that's what the skating rink used to be here in here 7 to 11. Here's $15. We'll see you a little bit later.
See you in a few days. Wednesday through Thursday, carnival, or Wednesday and Thursday, carnival starts at 4:30, goes to 10. Wristbands are $25. Friday, the carnival goes a little bit later. Your kids can be out of your hair until 11. The wristband goes up a little bit, $30 on Friday. So make sure you drop your kids off by 4:30 so you can get your money's worth out of that.
You know what? Buy a wristband with them, enjoy the ride, and have a family time.
You know, like for a long time, our favorite little tradition was my son and I would ride the Ferris wheel. And when he was super little, we'd get to the top, and I would totally lie to him and say, okay, now you can see, I can see, Nebraska up here. And he's like, oh, that's Nebraska? And I'm like, yeah, of course it is.
His geography teacher's paying for that one.
Yeah, he was a gullible child. Saturday,
you couldn't say there's the temple, there's...
I wanted it to be a little more impressive.
Okay. Yeah.
There's the gas station across the river. Saturday is a big carnival day, 1 to 6 p.m. And they have 2 different sessions on Saturday. It's a big deal. So you can get, you can buy a wristband for the first session, 1 to 6, or you can buy a wristband for the second session, which is 5 to 11. And carnival has all the traditional crazy carnival rides.
Right. Games.
And it also has all the food vendors, the food vendor row there on First Street, as well as to the south on First Street, you have all the vendors selling cool stuff. They have food and craft vendors there on First Street. They're actually open every day.
Yeah, it's a great event for kids, but I seen plenty of adults out there playing the games and eating the food. There's something for everybody.
Yep. I always have these plans to really be super healthy in the month leading up to 89ers, just so I can really experience it. with a cleansed palate
Right.
beforehand.
Right.
And that never works out for me.
I always fight the turkey leg.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the turkey leg. Do I want to eat turkey leg, or are we going to eat after the carnival?
Yeah.
So.
There's that one when you first turn into like Food Row. There's one place on the right hand side. It's almost there every year, I think. And basically, any kind of dessert you can think of that you can fry, it's there. You can get your like a fried Twinkie or fried Oreos, and none of that's bad.
No. It passes all the. I mean, it passed all the health guidelines. I mean, they wouldn't have it there if it wasn't healthy, right?
Correct. It has the stamp of the health department of Logan County.
I say get out there early, because I think without having the carnival last year, I think a lot of people are going to be excited to get out there and relive the. It's a lot of people go back just to see it, and it's just another tradition of 89er week.
Oh yeah. I think like everything this year is going to be just kind of wild and crazy, because folks just want to do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Another outdoor event as well.
Yes.
A lot of these are going to be outdoors.
Yep. Let's see. As we get into the later part of the week, we might go ahead and mention that this year there's not going to be the baseball game. The
89er baseball game.
Yeah. So that's taking a break for this year. There was something else.
We mentioned the Chuck Wagon.
Yeah.
And also what's normally cool during 89er week is the Guthrie High School baseball team has a varsity tournament. This year it's a junior high tournament, so it's still a cool deal for that. But the varsity baseball tournament would be the week after. So, but during this week there'll be a junior high baseball tournament. So I know a lot of the teams that come in, whether it be Ponca City or Kingfisher or all of these teams, they always come in and go in and get a little bit of 89er action as well. So it'll be the younger kids their chance this year.
That would be the coolest tournament in the world to go to.
When I was in high school, we talked about the parade or the carnival moving different locations. One year, the Ferris wheel was just outside Gelsma Stadium. The whole carnival was out there, but playing the varsity baseball tournament, the 89er baseball tournament, you can all see all the carnival rides. You can hear the ambience of people at the parade. It was pretty cool. I like that location. It probably doesn't work, especially since there's a hole in Harrison Avenue right now, but probably not a good idea to have it there. But I do remember that's one thing I really liked, up there batting, and there's the Ferris wheel where you can see China from.
I've heard that right, exactly. I've heard that right now, if you can hit a home run and hit the hole in Harrison Avenue, all your score doubles.
Oh wow!
It's like some kind of like a lottery ticket. You hit the right combination and whatever. Same thing with this.
Well, for the record, because
it's like a 2,000-foot home run.
702 feet.
Okay.
It's 702 because sometimes we play without a fence in the summertime. Right. But there is a fence at the Sandstone Rock, and that's 702 feet away.
So I don't know the first thing about baseball. Can somebody?
No.
Nobody's ever rolled the ball all the way to the wall.
Well, it can roll. I mean, it can hit. You can hit it 400. And there's been times it has rolled to the rock. Yeah, there's been a few times.
So there's not is it an inside the park home run kind of thing? Okay,
absolutely.
So there's not like if you're a player, like if you're playing center field, if somebody hits it out there, you're not speedily trying to check it, run it down so you can.
By the time it gets back to the infield, sometimes they've already crossed the plate. So usually you have a cutoff man. In this case, you need 4 cutoff guys to get the ball in. But
it really is one of the most interesting, football and baseball. But like the baseball set up there is a pretty cool place to play baseball, I would imagine.
Especially when you don't have that temporary fence and you have all that ground to cover, because you play deep so it doesn't go over your head and cost a run, which balls can hit in front of you too. So it's a lot of strategy.
Yeah, where we're recording today is right across the fence.
Yes, I like these stories.
The left field wall.
Yes.
Right? And this year, somebody is hitting the ball really well this year, because more than ever, I'm having baseballs hit the roof of my office here, and it just scares the bejeebus out of me.
We have some kids that can hit the long ball this year. Jake Zerden did you a favor. He went opposite field yesterday in the varsity win against Santa Fe South.
He was looking out for me.
Yes.
Because the first time it happened, I almost dove on the floor.
Yeah.
Because I thought that somebody shot a gun into the building. Because we have I think it's a metal roof on here.
Oh yeah.
When a baseball hits a metal roof at about 4,000 miles per hour, it's terrifying.
Well, just for reference, we can hear it in the stands. So I can only imagine what it's like inside this building because you hear the pow.
Yep. Let's see. All right. Next Thursday, the 15th, the great bed race.
Yes.
Speaking of danger, this has become a pretty cool tradition. Maybe 4 or 5 years going now. I think. And so different businesses in Guthrie build their own rolling beds.
Yes.
And this isn't it's not like you can't just go to IKEA, buy a bed and put some casters on it and roll it. They weld stuff together, and it's serious business.
And this is why AutoQuip always has the inside advantage every single year.
Yeah.
They're the LeBron James of NBA basketball because they set the level of bed race with their manufacturing abilities.
Oh, and right now they're probably the only business in the United States that has steel on hand.
Yeah, no, they're the plateau.
Right. And so this year they're moving the location. It previously had been down by the junior high.
Yep.
This year it's going to be on Harrison. And I think they're going to have the starting line there at First and Harrison, I think.
Well, that's good. That's better between Wentz and Division. Because there's a hole in the middle of Harrison now.
Avoid giant holes in the road. Intentional holes.
The sign should alert you to stay away.
Yeah. So avoid that, and then avoid running them into a state highway or something. But
it's just a block away.
So I'm pretty sure they're going to go west with
it. That's good strategy.
Yeah, and I like how some of those teams in the past have themes to their racing beds. I think it might have been the Job Corps folks who had their theme was was it the Three Little Pigs that had the grandma, the wolf was dressed up.
I think that's right. Yeah,
and
Custom Dental had something as well. I can't remember. It's not only do they dress up the bed, but the participants dress up as well.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I think they're still accepting registrations.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you're a business that wants to get in on the bed race action, talk to Brittany at the chamber.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the person. She's organizing that shindig this year. The race starts at 6, and the brochure says Harrison in second. I'm pretty sure that's actually Harrison in first. Yeah, because I think if they started there at second and go west, you're going down a brick road into the railroad tracks. If you go east, you're going to go into the state highway. So probably hitting it first, going west.
Right.
Probably.
Just walk up in that general area, and there will be you'll get the idea
You're
pretty
not
quick.
gonna miss it.
You're not going to miss it. Yeah. So
that's pretty much with all of these events in this entire episode. Just go downtown, you'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bed race. We did. And another 89er nights on Thursday night with live music and entertainment featuring Midas 13. I'm sure that's fantastic. I'm not sure what kind of style of music that is, but
so you go from the bed race right to the music and entertainment.
Yeah, right next to each other. So that's perfect. Pretty sweet deal. Okay, Friday.
Are you a geezer or are you a gasser?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out either.
I don't know the exact criteria of that. I guess I could be both. Or a hog. Hog, H-A-W-G. You can't pronounce hog with a W without saying hog.
My uneducated mind, I think the gassers are the older folks.
Okay. What about geezers?
We've gone too far.
Yeah, probably so.
How about you go to GuthrieGeezers.com? I bet they have all the information there.
I think you're absolutely right. Which is that the Geezers, Gassers, and Hogs is a car show and motorcycles. I think any kind of cool old vintage motorized transportation.
I think that's where the hog comes in, right? The
I think so. Yeah.
Put on by the Guthrie Rotary Club.
Yep. Good old folks there at the Rotary Club. They're gonna lined up on Oklahoma Avenue. And I think the details have shifted a little bit from the brochure here. So basically, I think they're going to be. I think the number of vehicles this year is going to be out of control because, again, everybody wants to get out and do stuff. So they're going to have like 4 billion vintage cars. I think they're going to line them up between Division and First.
Okay.
On Oklahoma. Also, on the other side of Division to Wentz and maybe extend down to Broad. And they're going to be taking photographs with the entries and stuff there. I think they're around Prairie Wolf, the distillery.
Okay.
So, again, go downtown, you'll find it. Especially
you'll walk right to it, I guarantee you.
These are old, fancy, like probably loud vehicles.
And it's well attended every single year as well. It's a really cool deal. And I don't know what a fuel pump or how to locate a fuel pump, but I do know what a nice, bright, shiny vehicle looks like. So it's always fun. Even if you don't know anything about cars, it's still fun to I start embarrassing myself when I start trying to go too far, but it's a cool deal.
You can just memorize some phrases.
I do that all the time.
Like, that's straight six?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right. Yep. Whatever that is. I don't know. The photos for the car show start at 3 p.m. on Friday, and then they review, I guess, for like a contest winner kind of thing at 6 p.m. That evening. Also on Friday the 16th. The car show sponsored by the Rotary Club. The Big Wheel race that same afternoon, evening is sponsored by the Guthrie Kiwanis Club. What does the Lions Club do for 89ers? Are we calling out the Lions Club right now?
They have pancakes or something there at some location.
Where are you at, Lions Club? Are those all the clubs? Kiwanis, Rotary, Lions. Is there another club in town anymore?
I think those are the 3.
You don't want to be like the one club out of the 3. It's not like having an official event.
I'm sure they're putting a task force committee right now.
I'm going to get fired for even mentioning this.
Aaron will take it out.
Yeah. Just bleep. Every time I say Lions Club, beep. And they can guess which club I'm talking about. So Big Wheel Race is for the kids.
Yes.
Ages 3 to 7. They're going to race the old school Big Wheel toys. You had one of those, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, they were so great.
Red and yellow?
Mine was blue and red.
Blue and red. Yeah, mine was red and yellow, and those plastic wheels would get a big old hole in the wheels, and you wear it out. Yeah,
Aaron, did you have a big wheel? You didn't do a big wheel? All right. Like I just remember, the wheels would wear out. Yeah. And also,
now you're talking about like the big wheel in the front and the two smaller wheels in the back.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And did yours have like the cheap brake that you could use?
No, straight plastic here.
Yeah, this was plastic too.
Okay.
And you just pull it up like in a pretend emergency brake, and basically all it would do was just like rub a hole in the right wheel faster than the left one.
It didn't have those in Oklahoma. That must be a Kentucky thing.
It was. We were ahead of the curve.
Wow.
The curb? What's the expression? Are you ahead of the curb or the curve?
Curve.
I don't know. I think Aaron, what do you think? Ahead of curve? What? Curve.
Yeah. CURVE, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would you be ahead of the curb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The curb stops you. We're supposed to anyway.
Correct. If you want to register your child, your 3 to 7 year old child, now don't be bringing your 15-year-old child down to race the big wheels. I think they're going to be taking birth certificates.
They get some speed going there too. It's
it's downhill.
It is downhill. Are we still doing that from the post office?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The starting line is there at First in Oklahoma. You can register on site. And the race begins at 5, so I'm assuming you have to show up a little bit early to register.
It always makes for great Facebook video too.
Oh yeah. And this is one of those deals where you can't just drop your kid off. You have to accompany. They have to be accompanied by an adult. So I guess you can.
That's in red letters. Anything in red letters is very important.
Yeah,
very important red letters. Always know the red letters.
Yeah, that means that the Kiwanis Club has had the experience trying to find parents. Like, hey, come get your kid. Let's see. It's like it does say it just an adult, so I guess you don't have to you could probably just find some stranger to go accompany your kid and take them down to the.
And again, this is for children ages 3 to 7, so they should probably have an adult with them anyway.
Yeah, probably so. You never know. Okay, still on. There's tons of stuff on Friday night. the U.S. Marshals show with Will Rogers. This is kind of like a historical reenactment type deal. I'm not exactly sure if they're U.S. Marshals, so it might be some like gunfight kind of stuff going on.
I think you've escorted them around town a few times, but they've had gun shows in downtown. I remember a really cool gun show over at Second Harrison from the State Publishing Museum over in that area, kind of where the little makeshift jails cell over there.
Yep.
So it looks like they're moving locations a little bit, which is always cool, different backgrounds.
Yep. Let's see. That's free to the public. That show, the U.S. Marshals show with Will Rogers, happens at 7 p.m. on Friday evening.
123 North 1st Street.
Yes. So that's like First, and that's at the American Legion. So that's First in Cleveland. So right at the other end of the food row there.
Again, if you're walking around and you hear gunshots, just walk over there, and that's where they're at.
Yep, exactly. None of this is all that complicated to find.
No.
Be all right. Let's see. Saturday. Saturday is the big day. It's the culmination of the entire week.
Yes, it is.
All day on Saturday at the Oklahoma Territorial Museum, you can get in for free.
That's really cool, and we've had those fine folks, Aaron and
Mike and Nathan.
Nathan, yes. We've had all three on this show, and
I believe so. Yeah,
and different stories. So it's a bargain to go in there, and it changes. I know, grown up here, you go there all the time, but the exhibits changes and all that good stuff. So
I think they have 2 new exhibits there since the last time we had them on the show.
Yeah,
and I can't off the top of my head, I can't remember what those exhibits are, but that museum really is like a kind of a hidden Oklahoma gem. There's like the exhibits are super interesting, and it's just like a peaceful place. I can go in there and I feel like super laid back and like relaxed, and
it's really cool. I tagged along with Leadership Guthrie on that deal. And of course, if you go in there and you see this exhibit, I can tell you all about this, but you always learn something new. Even though the exhibit's been there for 5 years, you still learn something new each time you go in there. You just maybe focus your attention to something else that you might not have seen. But as you said, with 2 new exhibits, something for even if you've been there in the last couple of weeks, you can still learn something.
Oh yeah, and like you said, the folks who work there, they're all just so informative.
Yeah,
and they've got stories for days. You can ask them
without books.
Yeah,
it's just top of their head.
They're super geniuses.
Oklahoma City didn't really steal the seal. One of my favorite stories from them. There was a vote. We were outnumbered to begin with, but
there was one year for the Victorian home tour at Christmas time when I was like the volunteer. One of the tours was the Carnegie Library. It was on the home tour that year. And I was like the volunteer who just kind of stood at the door and said, "Hey, hello, hey, hello,
welcome,
hello, thanks for coming." And it was kind of hilarious, like how many people would walk in and ask one of the museum folks about like the state steel being stolen, or all the kind of like legends. And those folks are so good at like letting people down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're like,
no, they're good.
Not really.
Not really. Here's the story.
Here's the factual story of how that happened, and overly like not nearly as dramatic.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So you can hop up there to the museum anytime between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday. And here's the big one.
It's a big one.
The parade starts at noon. The 92nd annual parade. And I've forgotten. They didn't have the parade last year, so last year would have been the 92nd, correct?
Correct. Yeah. It looks like, and we'll get into it here a little bit later on, but it looks like everything as far as the theme and entries and people coming, I think everything that they were going to do last year has just kind of moved on to this year, which is the right thing to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So 92 years of this mammoth parade.
Starts at noon, but I guarantee if you get there, we usually set up to broadcast the parade, but 7 a.m., 8 a.m., sometimes the night before, People start to get the lawn chairs out, mark their spots for the perfect spot for the parade. But you know, there's really not a perfect spot because again, we broadcast the parade every year and we move around all over, and there's not really one spot that says you have to be here. It's, you know, some years you want shade, some years you want the sun. We don't know the forecast quite yet, but that's what's cool about the route from the temple all the way to City Hall and wrap around there on 2nd Street and a little bit of Harrison Street. There's so many great views every single year. In fact, I like mixing it up.
I never can decide where to stand.
Yeah, me neither.
So if you're listening or watching this and you're going to be out of town on the parade day, you and Aaron and Phil,
yes,
are going to be live streaming.
That's the main folks anyway.
And whoever else hops on.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay. So you can watch that on Guthrie News page.
Yeah, we'll have it
Facebook page.
We'll have it shared everywhere that you can view it at. But yeah, it's always a great viewing audience, both live and afterwards, because you always want to go home and see yourself or your family members. So it's a really cool deal, and it's always best if you can make it and then watch the replay of it, and we can archive it forever. So invite everybody to come on out and enjoy the day.
Yeah, so Guthrie News page, probably the city Facebook page.
Yep.
All the different pages.
Absolutely.
Just hop on there for Facebook if you're not going to be around on Saturday.
And it's a cool thing that we're able to do because a lot of people obviously move away from Guthrie and they're in Ohio or Trenton, New Jersey or Scottsdale, Arizona, and they can watch their hometown.
Yep. Yeah, for some reason, like your little child has to use the bathroom in the middle of the parade, and you miss, I don't know, the Shriners doing their like little motorcycle stunts.
Oh, yeah,
you can watch the live stream after the fact. That just I'm so scared of stuff.
Well, and I'm sure we'll get to it here a little bit, but the Longhorns are they're coming back. We'll get to that here whenever you're ready to do that.
Yeah. Also on Saturday, the U.S. Marshals and Will Rogers, that little historical reenactment will happen again. They're at 3:30 p.m. The Longhorns are back.
Yes.
This year. I first heard that they were going to have Longhorn cattle going down Oklahoma Avenue. Like, it didn't really dawn on me that was like a cool thing.
Right.
And then when it actually happened, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
They're like these gigantic cows with giant horns. And I'm probably using the wrong phrase. I don't know if they're whatever they are. But yeah, just wandering down the street.
Yeah. No, on the broadcast last year, I remember we were having a fun time with it. Like, okay, here they come. You're just thinking worst case scenario. But they behave a lot better than the kids, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was watching them. And I'm looking at all the super pointy horns.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around at all the different, all the big glass windows.
Yeah. There's a lot of other things that go through your mind too. But 89, the parade. What do you think the number one? You probably know because you're the information guy. But
whatever.
What's the number one question you get about the parade?
Number one question about the parade.
I know the number one question I get.
I don't know. Go ahead.
What time does the parade start?
Oh yeah, and has it always been noon?
I always told people it's always high noon, but before I think there had been some 10 a.m. starts before.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I have a vague recollection.
So I apologize to all the people for going off on you. It's always high noon.
It never changes.
I've learned there had been some years ago at 10 a.m. starts. So parade, high noon. Parade starts at the corner of Capitol Street in Oklahoma, proceeds west on Oklahoma through downtown Guthrie to 2nd Street, turns south 1 block to Harrison, and then returns to Capitol Street.
You read that well. You're good at this.
They will skip Harrison Avenue where the hole in the street is at.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to squeeze through there. Maybe. I don't know.
I can't squeeze my vehicle. They're going to squeeze cattle through there now.
I'm not in charge of that. Thank goodness. The theme for this year, there's a theme every year.
Absolutely.
For the parade. Women of the Military is this year's theme. Entries will be judged on historical theme. They'll have marching units, roundup clubs, antique cars, wagons, coaches, clubs, and riding groups. I almost used my Aaron Ryburn radio voice there. I can't. If I try to do it, I'll embarrass myself because Aaron's way better at the radio voice than I am. So you can overdub that, Aaron.
Entries are judged. Yeah, I can't do it. Entries are judged on historical theme, marching units, roundup clubs, antique cars, wagons, coaches, clubs, and riding groups. That's a poor man's version of Aaron Ryburn. It'll sound a lot better when he does it.
I think anytime we need dramatic effect in any episode, let's just have Aaron like overdub.
Well, it's the perfect. He has the perfect voice for this type of event too, because it has that old Western type roundup type feel to it, like a Lazy E type setting.
It'd be great just to have like me saying, "Okay, make sure you show up to the," and then Aaron goes, "Big wheel race."
Yeah, it's always like the guy, "Be there," the big wheel guy. He always that was always a good one too.
Yeah, juxtaposing it with me just mumbling through quietly is perfect.
I can tell you, you mentioned the theme, women of the military. You can't have a parade without a parade marshal.
True. You got to have one.
Tell us, Justin, parade marshal.
The 89er parade marshal for this year is Brigadier General. That means important.
Yes, it does. That's a lot of brass.
Yeah, this is not a low-level general.
No.
It's a Brigadier General, Teresa M. Casey.
Yes.
So she will be the superstar of the 89er parade this year.
She'll have the fancy escort of some sort. I don't know what that is. Stagecoach. I don't know if that's a Freightliner. I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing it'll be quite impressive.
Yeah, tank, something.
Ooh, tank.
Yeah,
MRAP.
I don't know.
Get the MRAP.
She's a Brigadier General.
Yeah.
Did they give you one of those when you retire as a Brigadier? 89er Queen, 2021 89er Queen, Izzy Mariconda. Congratulations to her. 89er Princess, Harper Lecluse. And Miss Oklahoma's going to be there, Addison Price.
And also, you mentioned these four ladies here. I do believe they will also be at the Chamber of Commerce coffee on Wednesday at Bank First. So I think they will be in attendance or are scheduled to be in attendance on Wednesday. So you can meet them before the parade.
Get some autographs.
And give them congratulations on their accomplishment and achievements.
Yep. Looks like the governor, Kevin Stitt's going to be there. Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. So
schedules can always change. So if you if we say the governor's coming, he doesn't come.
Yep.
Something maybe came up and he had to do governor things.
He's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Who knows? If for any reason you're thinking to yourself, "Wow, Chris and Justin
butchered this,
just ruined this," or there was too much information to remember, 89erdays.com, which is 89ER.
Yes.
DAYS.com.
Yes.
You can find all this information.
It's all there.
Yep. One little piece of information that isn't on the brochure. So if you're picking up the brochure, this is extra. This is bonus material.
Oh.
Okay. If you're into rodeo type stuff, there is going to be some rodeo activity down at the Logan County Fairgrounds.
Very cool.
Next week. April 16th at 7 p.m. is steer wrestling. Steers will wrestle each other. Or something like that. And then the 17th at 7 p.m., you've got the 4D barrel race at the Guthrie Fairgrounds Arena. For more information, contact Sandy at 405-514-1174. So that's rodeo activity at the Logan County Fairgrounds Arena.
You gave the dates. What days are those?
16th and 17th.
So what? Like days of the week.
Yeah.
So that's Friday, Saturday. Very cool.
Yep. So you can
Friday and Saturday are packed.
Yeah, you can hang out all afternoon, part of the evening downtown, and still get down there to the Fairgrounds Arena for the steer wrestling on Friday and the barrel racing on the 17th, which is Saturday, 7 p.m. both of those evenings. So there is no shortage of things to do next week in Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Absolutely not, man. There's hopefully great weather. I haven't seen the extended forecast.
It's going to be perfect.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, no wind.
Yeah, no wind.
No wind. Like if it was this week, the top of the Ferris wheel will be a little I'd have to change my britches afterwards.
Yeah, you can roll all the way to Germany with this wind.
Yeah, it's like a steady 30-mile-an-hour wind all the time. I just saw an email that popped up something about never mind.
I was ready to.
When you're in the middle of a podcast and an email pops up from the boss, you're like, wait, what? Pause.
Maybe he had something to add to the show. Probably not, but maybe.
I think it might be. Hold on. Wait. Okay, I'm going to ignore this.
You probably just need you to turn in a building permit for somebody. Nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
Okay, 89erdays.com for all of your 89er event information. Chris, good to see you.
Great to see you. And again, I think it's going to be a great 89er week celebration after not having it last year. It was kind of a bummer of a moment not to be able to have it. You kind of take it for granted. So I think it'll be a great turnout for all the events. A lot of these, again, are outdoor events. And so, you can social distance and still have a good time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'll be back here with you next week talking with John Pagonis about the new Guthrie Renaissance Fair, which is May 8th and 9th. So looking forward to talking to John about all the stuff that happens at a Renaissance Fair.
Very cool. Sounds fun. Thanks, Justin.
See y'all.